Hi, welcome to this Corbettmaths video. In this video we're going to look at the video solutions to the stem and leaf diagrams practice questions. If you need any extra help on stem and leaf diagrams, you can go to corbettmaths.com/contents and scroll down to videos 169 and 170, and they're the video tutorials on stem and leaf diagrams. Alternatively, you can scan this QR code. Okay, let's get started. So let's have a look at our first question. So first question says, here are the number of goals scored by 15 hockey teams. So we've got the first team, perhaps over a season. The first team has scored 21 goals. The next team scored 30 goals. The next team scored 26 goals, and so on. And there's 15 hockey teams, so there's going to be 15 numbers. And we've been asked to show this information in a stem and leaf diagram. So if you go down the page, you can see there's a template there for us to put our answer in, where we've got our key and our stem and leaf diagram. But whenever we've been given a question like this, I like to do an unordered stem and leaf diagram to begin with, so the number's just not in order to begin with, and then I put it in order at the end. It just helps me make sure that I haven't missed any numbers. So our smallest number is 13, and our greatest number, our biggest number, is 45. So for my stem, I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. They're the digits in the tens column. Then we've got our vertical line, and then we'll put our leaves, which will be the numbers in the ones or the units column. So 21, well, we'll go through the 20s row, and we'll put a 1 there for 21. 30, we'll put a 0 in the 30s row, so that's going to be 30. Then we've got 26, so we'll put a 6 in the 20s row, so 26. 37 will be a 7 here, 37. 34, what's a 4 here? 21, well, that's going to be a 1 in the 20s row. 24, so it's going to be a 4. 45, well, we're now going to put a 5 in the 40s row, so 45. 23, so that's going to be in the 20s row, so it's going to be 23. 20, so a 0 in the 20s row. 15, we're now going to put a 5 in the 10s row, so 1 5 is 15. 23, we'll put a 3 here. 18, an 8 in the 10s row, so we'll now get 18. 13, so we'll put a 3 there. 19, we'll put a 9 there. So that's all our numbers. Let's just check. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 numbers. So we've got 15 numbers, and that's what we're given in the question. So that's fantastic. Now we can put them in order. So let's put them in order. So let's put our 1, 2, 3, and 4 for our 10s. So 10s, 20s, 30s, and 40s. And then we'll look at our leaves in each of the rows and put them in order, because obviously here we had 15, 18, 13, and 19. That's not in order. So we'll put 3, then 5, then 8, then 9. So 3, 5, 8, 9. And they're in order. Now if we look at our 20s row, our smallest number is a 0, so that's 20. And then we've got 2 1s, so 21, 21. And then we've got 23, 23, so 23, 23. And then we've got 24 and 26, so 4 and 6. Just putting these numbers in order, these leaves in order, the 1, 6, 1, 4, 3, 0, 3. I've put them in order as 0, 1, 1, 3, 3, 4, 6. Our 30s row, we've then got 30, 37 and 34, so we're going to put our 0, our 4 and our 7 in order. And finally we've got our 45, so we'll put our 45 there. Now we're almost done, we just need to do our key. And with our key, I like to look at the first number, so we've got here 13, so I'll just put 1 line 3 means 13, and that's it. So that is our ordered stem and leaf diagram with our key, and that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. So question number 2 says, here are the ages of 14 adults. So we've got 14 adults, and their ages are 42, 35, 56, 39, 40, and so on. And we've been asked to draw an ordered stem and leaf diagram for these ages. So if we look at the ages, the lowest ages are in the 30s, and the oldest ages are in the 50s. So we'll put our 10s as 30, 40, and 50, so 3, 4, 5, a vertical line. Now I'm going to do an unordered stem and leaf diagram to begin with, and then I'll do an ordered one afterwards. So let's look at our numbers. We've got 42, so 2 in the 40s row. 35, a 5 in the 30s row. 56, a 6 in the 50s row. 39, a 9 in the 30s row. 40, a 0 in the 40s row. 51, a 1 in the 50s row. 47, that's going to be a 7 in the 40s row. 38, that's going to be an 8 in the 30s row. 42, that's a 2 in the 40s row. 55, a 5 in the 50s row. 42, a 2 in the 40s row. 48, an 8 in the 40s row. 49, a 9 in the 40s row, and finally 41 will be a 1 in the 40s row. So we've got our unordered stem and leaf diagram. Now let's put it in order and then give it a key. So let's put it in order. So 30s, 40s, and 50s. And if we look at our 30s, we've got 35, 39, and 38. Well, it's going to be 5, 8, and 9 for 35, 38, and 39. And then if we look at our 40s row, we put these numbers in order. We've got our 0s, that's 40. Then we've got a 41. We've got 1, 2, 3, 2, so that's going to be 42, 42, 42. So we'll put a 42, 42, 42. Then we've got a 47, a 48 and a 49. And I'm just going to check about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers in that row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fantastic. And finally, our 50s row, we had 56, 51 and 55. So it's going to be 51, 55 and 56. Put them in order. So that is our ordered stem-leaf diagram. So let's put our key. So let's write key. And we've got 3 line 5 means 35. And that's it. So that is our ordered stem-leaf diagram for those ages. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. So question number 3. Question number 3 says the stem-leaf diagram shows information about the ratings of 11 footballers in a computer game. So there's a football game and each of the footballers gets an overall rating and we've got their ratings. So we've got our key as 6 line 8 means 68. So we've got 68, 75, 75, 77, 83, 84, 86, 88, 89, 90 and 91. So part A says how many footballers had a rating less than 85? So if we have a look at our stem-leaf diagram, we've got this footballer 84, this one 83, this one 77, 75, 75 and 68. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's it, so our answer would be 6. This footballer obviously has a rating of 86 and that's not less than 85, so none of these ones will count, but these 6 all have ratings less than 85. Okay, part B. Part B says write down the mode. So the mode is the most common rating, so the most common number. And if we have a look, we had 68, 75, 75. So we've got 75 twice. And no other number appears twice. We've got 77, 83, 84, 86, 88, 89, 90 and 91. So 75 appeared twice. So that means the mode, the most common rating, is 75. Okay, question C says work out the range of the ratings. So the range is the largest number, take away the smallest number. So if we have a look at our stem-leaf diagram, the largest rating or the highest rating is 91 and the lowest one is 68. So if we do 91, take away 68, that will give us our range. So 91 take away 68 will be equal to 23. So the range of the ratings would be 23. And part D asks us to work out the median rating. So the median is the middle value. So if we go up to our stem-leaf diagram, the great thing about this is all the numbers have been arranged in order from 68 all the way up to 91. So if we want to find the median, what I would tend to do is get a pencil, because whenever I'm going to cross these out, if I make a mistake, I can rub it out, easily. But I'm going to cross off the smallest value, which is 68, and the largest one, which is 91. So I'm going to cross off the smallest and largest because I know they're not the medians. I'm going to cross off the next smallest, which is 75, and the next largest, which is 90. The next smallest, which is 75, and the next largest, which is 89. And I'm just working my way into the middle. I'm going to cross off the next smallest, which is 77, and the next largest, which is 88. And then I'm going to cross off the next smallest, which is 83, and the next largest, which is 86. And we're left with 84 in the middle. So the median is 84, that middle value. So the median rating is 84. Okay, let's have a look at question number 4. So question number 4, Helen plays darts and here are her scores. So she's got scores of 55, 23, 48, 29, 41, 47, 36, 35, 40, 35, 44, 34 and 35. And we've been asked to draw an ordered stem-leaf diagram to show her results, show her scores. So first of all, I'm going to draw the unordered stem-leaf diagram and then I'll put it in order and draw our ordered stem-leaf diagram. So if we look at her scores she's got scores in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s and the 50s. So we'll write 2, 3, 4 and 5 down as the stem. So they represent the digits in the tens column. And let's look at our leaves. So we've got 55, so we'll put a 5 here. 23, so it's going to be a 3 in the 20s row. 48, an 8. 29, a 9. 41, a 1 in the 40s row. 47, so it's going to be 7 in the 40s row. 36, a 6 in the 30s row. 35, that's a 5 in the 30s row. 40, that's a 0 in the 40s row. 35, that's a 5 in the 30s row. 44, that's a 4 in the 40s row. 34, that's a 4 in the 30s row. And finally, 35, which is a 5 in the 30s row. So let's just check. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 scores. So we've got 13 numbers. Let's just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's it. We've got all our values in our unordered stem-leaf diagram. Now we just need to put it in order and give it a key. So we've got our 20s, 30s, 40s and 50s. We've got our vertical line. And let's put each of the digits in each row in order. So we've got 23 and 29. That was already in order. Fantastic. Then our 30s, we've got 34, 35, 35 and 35. That score happens a lot. If we were asked for the mode later, that might be where we would look. And then we've got our 36. Our 40s, we've got 40, 41, 44, 47, and 48. And finally our 50s, we've got our 55. And let's do our key. 2, line 3 means 23. And that's it. So we've drawn an ordered stem and leaf diagram to show her scores. Okay, let's look at part B. Part B says we'll write down the mode. So the mode is the most common result and the most common score. As you can see here, we had 35, 35, and 35. We had 3 35s. So that is the mode. It happens the most often. Our next question says work out the range. Well, the largest number is 55 and the smallest number is 23. And whenever we do 35 take away 23, that would be 32. So our answer would be 32. So the range is 32, and that's it. Let's have a look at our next question. So question number 15. Question number 15 says, here are the lengths in millimeters of 15 earthworms. So 15 earthworms have been measured, their lengths, and we've got 43 millimeters, 19 millimeters, 35 millimeters, 28 millimeters, 21 millimeters, and so on. And we've been asked to draw an ordered stem-and-leaf diagram to show this information. So let's do our unordered one and then put it in order. So let's have a look at our measurements. We've got measurements as low as 12 and we've got measurements as high as 41 and 43. So we're going to put down our stem. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that represents the digits in the tens column. We've then got our line, and let's put in our leaves. And remember, we're going to do unordered to begin with. So 43, so 3 in the 40s row, 19 and 9 in the tens row, 35, a 5 in the 30s row, 28, an 8 here, 21, a 1 there, 28, an 8 in the 20s row, another 28. For us for the mode, that might be 28 because it's happened 3 times already. 18, an 8 in the 10s row. 24, that's going to be a 4 in the 20s row. 33, a 3 in the 30s row. 31, a 1 in the 30s row. 36, a 6 in the 30s row. 12, a 2 in the 10s row. 41, a 1 in the 40s row. And finally 28 will be an 8 in the 20s row. So that's our unordered stem-and-leaf diagram. Let's just check we've got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there's 15 numbers. Now we just need to put them in order and give it a key. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, our vertical line. And then let's put our numbers in order. So we had 19, 18, and 12. So 12, 18, and 19. Then if we look at our digits in the 20s row, we've got 1, 4, 8, 8, 8, 8. So a 1, 4, and then we've got 4 8s, 8, 8, 8, and an 8. And then our 30s row, we've got our 31, our 33, our 35, and 36. And finally, 41 and 43. And let's do our key. 1, line 2 means 12 millimeters. Okay, let's look at our first question. So the first question says, how many earthworms are over 40 millimeters? So if we have a look at our stem-and-leaf diagram, we're looking for earthworms that have got a length that's greater than 40 millimeters. So we've got 41 and 43. So there's 2 earthworms that have got a length over 40 millimeters. Part C says write down the mode. Well, we've got 28 that happens 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So 28 millimeters will be the mode. Our next question says, what fraction of the earthworms are under 20 millimeters? So altogether, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 earthworms. And how many are under? So we'll put that as the denominator to begin with. And it says, what fraction of the earthworms are under 20 millimeters? So let's find our numerator by looking and finding how many earthworms have got a length less than 20 millimeters. So we had 12, 18 and 19. That's 3 earthworms. So 3 out of the 15, 3/15ths of the earthworms have got a length that is less than 20 millimeters. Now we can cancel down this fraction. 3/15ths, they're both divisible by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. So our answer could be 1/5, or you could leave it as 3/15ths because we weren't actually asked to cancel it down, but I'm going to give mine as 1/5. Okay, our next question. So let's have a look at question number 6. So question number 6 says, Caitlin has asked 10 people how many cups of coffee they had last week. And here are their results. So we've got 13 cups of coffee, 18 cups of coffee, 4 cups of coffee, 22 cups of coffee, and so on. So there's our 10 results. That's the number of cups of coffee that the 10 people she asked had. If she'd asked me, it'd be 0. Anyway, Caitlin then drew this ordered stem-and-leaf diagram. So she's drew this stem-and-leaf diagram. So it's got a key. That's great. And then we've got 4 cups of coffee, 12 cups of coffee, 13 cups of coffee, and so on. And if we scroll down, the question says, give 2 mistakes that Caitlin has made. So Caitlin has made 2 mistakes in drawing this stem-and-leaf diagram. Well, let's find what they are. So let's look at the numbers in her stem-and-leaf diagram and let's just check she's got them all. So she's got 0, 4, so that's 4. She's got 12, well that's 12. She's got 13, well there's 13. We've then got 18, well she's got 18. She's got 19, that's there. She's then got 10, what? First of all, that doesn't sound like it's in the right place. The 10, the 0 should be at the beginning, because obviously 10 is less than 19. She says she's done an ordered stemleaf diagram. So it should be 10, 12, 13, 18, 19. So that 0 is in the wrong place. That is a mistake. But she's got her 10 anyway. Then 22, we've got 22. We've got 25, 25, and then 31, 31. And as you can see, there's a number here that isn't in her stem and leaf diagram. If we look, we've got 2 13s, but there's only 1 13 in the diagram. So that's her 2 mistakes. One mistake is there are 10 people and she's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 leaves. So she's missed off one of the numbers, 13. And the other thing is this 0 is in the wrong place. It should be here. It's not in the right order. So let's write that down. So the first mistake is Caitlin has only put 9 numbers in her stem and leaf diagram. There should be 10. And the second mistake is the second line should be in order with the 0 first. So in other words, she should have 10 and then 12 and then 13 and then 18 and 19. So that 0 should go first in terms of the leaves. And that's it. So there's the 2 mistakes that Caitlin made. Okay, let's have a look at question number 7. So question number 7 says, the number of people visiting a cafe each day for 11 days is listed below. So there's 104 people on that day, 131 people that visited the cafe in that day, 120 people visited the cafe in that day, and so on. And we've been asked to draw an ordered stem and leaf diagram for this information. So we've got as low as 104 visitors and as high as 131 visitors. So because of the key says 10 line 4 means 104, we're going to go for 10, 11, 12 and 13 before the stem, and then we'll put our leaves on to represent the units, or the ones. So we've got 104, so 104, 131, so we'll put our 1 there, a 120, so that's a 0 in the 120s row, 115, that's a 5 there, 109, a 9, 124, that's going to be a 4 in the 120s row, 128, so we'll put an 8 there, 118, an 8 in that row, 116, a 6 in that row, 120, a 0 in that row, and finally 125 will be a 5 in that row. Now we've been asked to draw an ordered stem and leaf diagram, so this is not ordered, so let's put them in order and put them into our template that's there for us. So let's start by writing down our stem. And then let's put on our leaves and put them in order. So 104 and 109, they were in order, fantastic. Our 110, so we had 115, 116 and 118, so putting those in order. Putting our next row in order, so 0, 0, 4, 5 and 8, so 120, 120, 124, 125, 128. And finally we've got our 131. And let's just check there are 11 days, so let's just check we've got 11 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and they're in order and the key's there for us, so we're done. Okay, part B says write down the mode. So if we look, we had 120 and 120, we've got 2 120s and no other number appears that many times, so our mode would be 120. Part C says write down the median. So whenever we're finding the median, I like to cross off the numbers. I typically do this in pencil so that if I make a mistake I can rub it out, and I will cross off the smallest. Remember, the median is the middle number, so we'll cross off the smallest, which was 104, and we'll cross off the biggest, which is 131. Now we're at our next pair, so that's 109 and 128, so crossing off the next smallest and the next biggest. Then our next smallest, 115, and our next biggest, 125. Our next smallest, 116, our next biggest, 124, and we're just working our way in. Our next smallest, 118, and our next biggest, 120, and we're left with 120. So our median will be 120. And part D asks us to work out the range. Well, the most number of visitors was 131, the smallest number was 104, so 131 subtract 104 will give us our range. And when we do that, 131 take away 104 will be 27. So the range is 27. So question number 8. Question number 8 says we've got a stem and leaf diagram that shows information about the time taken for students to complete a puzzle. So we've got a key, 2 line 3 means 23 minutes. So we've got 23 minutes, 25 minutes, all the way up to 58 minutes. And we're told if a student took less than 40 minutes, they win a prize. So if we have a look, we've got all these students, and 23 minutes they would win a prize, 25 minutes they would win a prize, 26 minutes they would win a prize, and so on. 41 minutes wouldn't win a prize because they took longer than 40 minutes, 44 minutes wouldn't, and 58 minutes wouldn't. One of the students is picked at random. Fia says the probability that the student won a prize is 2/3. Is Fia correct? Explain your answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see first of all how many students there are to begin with. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there's 15 students. So there's 15 students, and let's see how many win prizes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 students win prizes because these 3 don't. Now, whenever you pick a student at random, the probability of picking someone that wins a prize then would be 12 win prizes out of 15. The probability of picking someone at random that won a prize then would be 12/15. But Thea says the probability of a student winning the prize was actually 2/3. So let's cancel down our fraction and see if we get 2/3 or not. So 12 and 15, they're both divisible by 3. We can divide both of these numbers by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. So actually, 4/5 of the students win prizes. So that means the probability of picking one at random would be 4/5, not 2/3. So let's write that down. So is Thea correct? No. As 4/5 of the students win a prize, the probability would be 4/5, not 2/3. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. Question number 9 says, the number of passengers on 10 buses were recorded, and the stem and leaf diagram shows the information. So we've got 7 passengers, 9 passengers, 14 passengers, as the key says, 15, 16, 18, 18, that happens twice, 21, 23 and 30. So the most number of passengers on a bus was 30 and the smallest number was 7. And part A asks us to work out the median. So again, whenever I'm asked to find the median, the middle number, I cross them off, use a pencil because then you can rub it out if need be. So let's cross off the smallest number, 7, and the largest, 30, the next smallest, 9, and the next largest, 23, the next smallest, 14, and the next largest, 21, the next smallest, 15, the next largest, 18. So we've got 2 numbers in the middle, that is 16 and 18. And if we want to find the median, we go for the middle of those numbers, which would be 17. So the median number of passengers would be 17. Our next question says, a bus is selected at random. What is the probability the bus had more than 20 passengers? So altogether there were 10 buses. So there's 10 buses. So if we're picking a bus at random, it's going to be out of 10. And we want to find the probability that it's got more than 20 passengers. So if we look at our stem and leaf, we've got 1, 2, 3 buses that had more than 20 passengers. We had one bus with 21, another one with 23, and another bus with 30. And all the rest had less than 20 passengers. So 3 of the buses had more than 20 passengers. So the probability of picking a bus which had more than 20 passengers would be 3 out of 10, or 3/10. Okay, we're then given a bit of extra information. We're told the next bus has 32 passengers. Tick the box which shows what effect that will have on the range. So if we go back up to our stem and leaf diagram, we're told that another bus comes along and it's got 32 passengers. And we're asked what happens to the range. So let's first of all find out what the range was before that bus came along. So the range is the biggest number, which is 30. Take away the smallest number, which is 7, and that is the range. So 30 take away 7 is 23. So the range before that other bus comes along was 23. Now another bus comes along which has 32 passengers, and we're asked to find what the range is. So the range is the biggest, which is 32 now, take away the smallest, which is 7, and that's equal to 25. So the range has gone up, and that makes sense that if a larger number comes along and we work out the range, which is the biggest take away the smallest, you're going to get a bigger answer. So that will mean that the range will increase. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. Question number 10. So question number 10 says there's 12 students in a class and they sit a test. And the stem and leaf diagram shows their results. And we've got a key, 6, line 0 means 60%. So we've got their scores, 60%, 61%, 63%, 65%, 68%, all the way up to 96%. And we're asked to work out the median score. So again, I would get a pencil here. We're going to cross off the smallest and the biggest, the next smallest and the next biggest, the next smallest and the next biggest, the next smallest 65 and the next biggest 79, the next smallest 68 and the next biggest 76. We're left with 72 and 72. Well, in the middle of 72 and 72 will be 72%. So the median is 72%. We're then told a new student joins the class and sits the test, and this new student gets 98%. So this new student clearly knows what's happening in this test, and they get 98%, which is a great score. And we're asked to tick the box which will show what effect that has on the range, and we're also asked what effect it will have on the median in part C as well. So this new student comes along, it gets 98, and we're asked what effect that will have on the range and what effect that will have on the median. So let's start off by looking at part B. Part B says what effect it will have on the range. So before that student came along, we had 96 was the highest, and the smallest, the lowest score was 60, and 96 take away 60 is equal to 36. So the range was 36% to begin with. Now this student's come along, they've got 98%, and the lowest number is still 60, and 98 take away 60 is equal to 38. So the range will increase whenever that student comes along and gets 98%, so the range will increase. And part B says, what effect will it have on the median? So if we go up and see what the median was, well, the median was 72. Now I'm going to get my rubber and rub out all the pencil marks that I put on my diagram. And we're going to find the median again, and we're going to see how that changes from 72, or if it changes, whether it goes up, down, or stays the same. So let's find the median. So cross off the smallest 60, and cross off the biggest 98, the next smallest 61, the next biggest 96, the next smallest 63, the next biggest 87, the next smallest 65, the next biggest 80, the next smallest 68, the next biggest 79, the next smallest 72, the next biggest 76, and we're left with 72 in the middle. So the median is still 72%. So that means the median has stayed the same. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. Question 11. Noah places some books on a bookshelf. So Noah's got a bookshelf and he's placing some books on it. And the stem and leaf diagram shows information about the mass of each book. So the mass of each book is shown in this diagram. So we've got 0, line 1 means 0.1 kilograms. So we've got 0.1 kilograms, 0.1 kilograms, 0.1 kilograms, 0.2 kilograms, 0.2 kilograms, 0.3, 0.4, 0.4, 0.6 kilograms. We've then got 1.0 or 1 kilogram, 1 kilogram, 1.2 kilograms, 1.3 kilograms, 1.7 kilograms, and finally 2.3 kilograms. Okay, and part A asks us to write down the median. So we need to work out the median. So we've got our stem and leaf diagram. Let's get our pencil and cross off the lightest and the heaviest book, the next lightest and the next heaviest, the next lightest and the next heaviest, and we're just going to work away in the next lightest and the next heaviest, 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 and we're left with 0.4. So the median would be 0.4 kilograms. Our next question, part B, says work out the total mass of the books on the bookshelf. So that means we're going to add up all the masses. So I'm just going to get my rubber and rub out our crosses, and we're going to work out the total mass of the books on the bookshelf. So we're going to add up all the masses. So we're going to do 0.1 plus 0.1 plus 0.1 plus 0.2 plus 0.2 and so on. So 0.1 plus 0.1 plus 0.1 plus 0.2 plus 0.2 plus 0.3 plus 0.4 plus 0.4 plus 0.6 plus 1 kilogram plus 1 kilogram plus 1.2 plus 1.3 plus 1.7 plus 2.3. Okay, so let's add those values up and see what we get. And whenever we add up all those masses, we get 10.9 kilograms. So the total mass of the books on the bookshelf is 10.9 kilograms. And our next question says, a book weighing 1.8 kilograms is added to the shelf. Peter says the median will remain the same. Is Peter correct? Explain your answer. So another book's going to be added on the bookshelf. Now the median before was 0.4 and a new book's being added on this bookshelf and the mass of it is 1.8, so we can put our 1.8 here. And we now need to work out the median. So let's cross off the lightest and the heaviest, the next lightest and the next heaviest, the next lightest and the next heaviest, next lightest, next heaviest, next lightest, next heaviest, next lightest, next heaviest, next lightest, next heaviest. Now we're left with two numbers in the middle, 0.4 and 0.6. So the median will be in the middle of those numbers, which will be 0.5 kilograms. So the median will become 0.5 kilograms. And we're asked, is Peter correct that it will stay the same? So no. So part C says, is Peter correct? The answer is no. The median will increase to 0.5 kilograms. Okay, let's have a look at our last question. Our last question says, and if we have a look at it, question number 12. Izzy bowls 7 cricket balls. So she's bowling these cricket balls and measures their speed in miles per hour. So maybe someone's got a speed gun or there's some sort of device that measures the speed of these cricket balls. And each measurement, each of the 7 measurements is to the nearest whole number. So whenever the speed's measured, it's given as a whole number, maybe like 57 miles an hour, or 150 miles an hour, or 2 miles an hour. So the speed's given to the nearest whole number. There's no decimals on this display. And here's some information about their speeds. So we've got the fastest speed. So the fastest speed she's done was 76 miles an hour. The median speed was 64 miles per hour. The range of the speeds was 27 miles per hour. The mode of the speeds was 68 miles per hour. And the mean speed was 61 miles per hour. And we've been asked to complete the stem and leaf diagram. And if we look, we've got a stem and leaf diagram there that we need to draw. So to draw a stem and leaf diagram, we're going to need to know what the actual numbers were. Now the 7 speeds, so let's write those down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She's bowled 7 balls, so there's going to be 7 speeds. And we're told some information. So the fastest speed is 76 miles per hour. So 76. If these are in order, 76 will be the fastest. The median is 64. Well, the median is the middle speed, so 64 in the middle. The range, well, we know the biggest number and we're told the range. Now the range is the biggest number, take away the smallest number, but we know the range. If we take the largest number and take away the range, we can find this smallest number, this slowest speed. So 76 take away 27, so taking the largest and taking the range away from it will tell us the slowest speed. So 76 take away 27 is equal to 49. So that means the slowest ball was 49 miles per hour. So that's 3 of the numbers filled in, so that's fantastic. Now we're told that the mode is 68 miles per hour. So the mode is the most common. Now we've put these numbers in order, so for it to be 68 the mode, that means there'll have to be more than one value of 68, and the most we can have is actually 2 because these are in order, so we can't have a third 68, so it's going to have to be 68 and 68. So that's fantastic. So we've got 5 numbers so far. We've got 49 miles per hour, 64, 68, 68 and 76. So we've got 2 more numbers to find, and we've only got 1 more bit of information, and that's the fact that the mean is 61 miles per hour. So let's think about how we work out the mean. The mean is found by adding up all the values and dividing by how many there are, and there's 7 numbers. So we've added up these numbers and divided by 7 and got 61. So if we take our 61 and multiply by 7, that would tell us the grand total of all the speeds. So 61 multiplied by 7 is equal to 427. So that means that all of these numbers will add together to give us 427. But there's 2 of them missing, so if we take away the 5 that we know, we can then figure out what's left, what's the total of these 2 numbers. So if we do 427, take away 49, take away 64, take away 68, take away 68, take away 76, that would tell us what the sum of these 2 speeds would be. So 427, take away 49, take away 64, take away 68, take away 68, take away 76, leaves us with 102. So that means that these 2 numbers, when we add them together, must be 102 because the whole lot has to add up together to give us 427. Now, I'm going to take my 102 and I'm going to divide it by 2 just to see what we'd get. That would be 51 miles per hour. So one theory would be, one guess could be that this speed is 51 and this speed is 51. But that wouldn't work because if this speed was 51 and this speed was 51, we were told the mode is 68. That means that 68 happens the most often. Now there's only 2 68s, so if we had 2 51s, there wouldn't be a mode of 68. So it can't be 51 and 51. So let's now try 50 and 52. They add together to be 102, so that works. It would be in order. We would have, if we put them in here, 50 and 52. All our numbers are in order, fantastic. We have got a fastest speed of 76. We've got a median of 64. We've got a range of 27 still. We've got a mode of 68. And the mean would be 61 because if we added all these numbers up, we would get 427. And if we divide it by 7, we get 61. And that's it. Now, it can't be 49 and 53 because if we had 49 and 53, we would have 2 49s, which means we wouldn't have a mode of 68. And also, we couldn't have 48 and 54 or anything else because these numbers are in order. So we can't have a 48 here because that would affect the range. So the only possible options there would have been 50 and 52 because the speeds were given to the nearest whole number. There weren't decimal numbers, so it'd have to be 50 and 52. And that's it. So we were then asked to draw a stem and leaf diagram for those numbers. So we would have our 40s, 50s, 60s and 70s. So we've got our 49, our 50, 52, 64, 68 and 68 and 76. So there are all our speeds, so 49, 50, 52, 64, 68, 68 and 76. So they're the speeds. So that's our stem and leaf diagram, our order stem and leaf diagram. And let's do a key. So 4 line 9 means 49 miles per hour. And that's it. So that's our stem and leaf diagram. So these have been the video solutions to the stem and leaf diagrams practice questions on Corbettmaths. I really hope you found this video useful. If you have liked it, please like it. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and thanks so much. Cheers. Bye.